ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, so we are on verse 24, and I already heard some comments that how amazing this verse is. And this is the verse that we chant before the food, and we will learn why and how. And just to recap, the last verse was almost a path laid out to reach to the highest, and the English translation of the previous verse was of one who is devoid of attachment, who is liberated, whose mind is established in knowledge, who acts for the sake of sacrifice, that means yagna spirit, all his actions are dissolved, who goes into a karma mode. That now everybody understands in this class what that is. 1 second. Okay, so now this whole thing starts with the 12 yagnas that I had mentioned. So the way you want to look at this is that this again follows the Upanishadic style. Highest one comes first and then tapers down. And then one of the examples I gave, that is like a buffet of different sadhanas, we can call them. Upasana bolo, sadhana bolo. And you just pick what is conducive to you. So there is no such thing as, hey, this is the best one and this is the least one. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, because तुम्हारा किसी से connection होता है. That is the most important thing. So when Krishna Bhagavan praises something, he is actually giving some tip to you that why it is like that. But whether you connect or not, you have to look at within yourself. So when sometimes what happens in our enthusiasm, जो हम करते हैं, oh that's the best and everybody should do that, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, बहुत सारा options दिया हुआ है. So keep that in mind. But all of us have to reach to the highest. That is the goal, right? And this verse actually tells you what is the highest vision, what is our highest goal, where we should be reaching. That's what it is. So we have to always remember the context of it. So what is the highest vision? So we have learned, that having no doership is the highest vision. So I hope everybody understand what doership means. Uska different ways you can explain it. One of them is like ahankar, जिसको बोलते ego rising in me, that I am doing it. और अभी हम लोग ने इतना सा पढ़ लिया यहाँ पर और समझ लिया, थोड़ा सा भी हम चिंतन करेंगे तो पता चलेगा कि हम लोग अपने आप में कुछ भी नहीं है. अगर बॉडी नहीं चले, माइंड नहीं चले, इंटेलेक्ट नहीं चले, कुछ भी नहीं होगा हमसे. और वो सबको वो आत्मा ही पावर देती है. It's like electricity and the computer. My computer may be the most sophisticated out there, but if electricity doesn't go through it, it's like a piece of junk. So that's how we have to. So this is the drushti of that person who recognizes this. That the English may word as substratum. There's a substratum. We have discussed it, but I'll just bring it up. Without the substratum, you cannot function. For example, जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि seabed. Without the seabed, sea cannot be. पानी के लिए कुछ तो चाहिए ना, आधार जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में. And for the cars to go, we need the roads. For the plane to fly, we need the space. So space is the आधार there. So that's what substratum means. So what this person, उसकी दृष्टि कैसी होती है कि वो जानता है कि ये substratum के बिना कुछ नहीं हो सकता. So that's one thing. Okay, before I tell more, let me chant this verse. And everybody knows this, so, you all can chant with me at home. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmeva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So let me do the Sanskrit and then I will talk more about it and then we'll read. Brahma, Brahman. Arpanam is the oblation. Everybody knows jisko ahuti dena bolte hai, ऐसे, to give. Brahma is again Brahman. Havihi, the clarified butter, ghee. Ghee is havi. Or यहाँ पर when they say the word havi, it means it includes all the havan samagri, whatever you pour in it. But the main ingredient is havi, so that's why they said ghee, but all the samagri. Brahma Agnav, in the fire of Brahman. तो जो kindle करते हैं हम लोग fire, that is fire of Brahman. Brahmana, by Brahman. ये ब्राह्मणा नहीं है. This is not that word Brahman. This is Brahmana is that Sanskrit grammar की वजह से they became Brahmana, means by Brahman. उसके द्वारा, हिंदी में ऐसा बोलेंगे. Hutam is offered. Again, Brahma is Brahman. कई बार आया word. Eva is only. केवल. Tena, by him. Gantavyam shall be reached. Gantavyam goal को बोलते हैं. Lakshya, goal, where I want to reach. Brahma karma samadhina, by the man who is absorbed in the action which is Brahman. So samadhina जो बोलते हैं ना, समाधिस्थ हो गया, जो समाधि में चला गया है. You can, that same thing, context is over here. He is absorbed in that Brahman. So all this Brahma is coming again and again, right? So basically saying that उसकी दृष्टि है कि सब ब्रह्ममय है. And then we talked about it. Somebody loves Krishna, sab Krishnamay hai. Somebody Rama, Ramamay hai, Shivmay, whatever you want to call it. But basically it's talking about that substratum. So this person who, obviously they're talking in, ये दृष्टि तभी होगी जब कोई self realize होएगा, right? तो उसकी बात कर रहे हैं, मगर ये हमारे लिए ये गोल बन जाएगा तो हमको यहाँ पहुँचना है हमें. But so इसके ingredients क्या है कि वो आदमी एकदम जीवन मुक्त है. He's free from bondage. Bondage of, attachments nahi hai usko kuch bhi. He's functioning in the world. He's doing everything, but he is free from bondage. And इसीलिए उसको जीवन मुक्त बोला है. And then the word moksha बोलो. मोक्ष का भी यही अर्थ है, जो सबसे छूट जाए, And liberated, you have heard, nirvana. All these are synonyms, words. Basically what it is that उसकी जो दृष्टि है उसमें everything is merged in one. He's functioning in the world, but inside he has the understanding that so as though it is merged in one. And what is the meaning of the word Brahma? The Sanskrit meaning is the biggest. So over here, when we, in the worldly sense, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि that thing is so big, it's a relative term. कि भाई एक चूहे के सामने हाथी बहुत बड़ा है जी, लेकिन एक पहाड़ बहुत बड़ा है हाथी के सामने भी, correct? So it's all relative. कि तुम, when you're saying big, what is big for us? It's all relative. But here it's called the biggest, means infinite हो गया. उसके सामने और कुछ बड़ा है ही नहीं. That is the meaning of the word Brahma, the word Brahman. That's what it is. And then the other thing this person knows very well is that there is a word called Atma, right? Atma and Brahman. So what is the difference between Atma and Brahman? Technically they are the same, but when that expression is happening through a body of that Brahman, so we refer it as Atma. That's all it is. But in essence, it is the same. Okay, so it's very important to understand this. And the best example is of space. And we have discussed it many times in this class. We cannot cut space, we cannot divide it, but I still call it my house space, my backyard space, because, but it's just a little boundary that I've created in my mind. That's all it is. But space, technically I cannot cut. Same way, Atma and Brahman is the same. But when it's expressing through this limited body, then it's called Atma. So he knows about this. Okay, and then the same reality or substratum, Brahman, has been given many different names by many different people, and they are expressed as many different ways. And you have heard a lot of it. Satchit Anand. You've heard, right? So it's like the truth, conscious, and bliss. So because it's expressed by this way because it has all these three so-called qualities. वैसे तो Brahman is quality-less, but this is just a language का issue है यहाँ पे. And then also it is called yagna, I've heard. Actual Brahman को यज्ञ भी बोला गया because उसी में सब कुछ समा जाता है. Right? जैसे हम लोग आहुति डालते हैं ना, आग में तो सब से समा जाता है, उसी में समा जाता है, उसको यज्ञ भी बोलते हैं. And so how do we understand now this from, it sounds good, but it still may sound a little bit confusing कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, right? कि भाई सब कुछ ही भ्रम ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, हम लोग को तो डिफरेंस दिखाई देता है. So, the saints and sages give this example a lot. It's the dream example. Okay? When I go to sleep, all of us have experienced dreams. Some people remember it vividly, some people remember sometimes, but we all know that we dream. So when we dream, we may see 100 things in there, including myself. Okay? And my friends, and the different cities, whatever there is sky is the limit for that, right? When I'm in the dream, it looks very real. A person who is dreaming, you can never convince him that this is not real. अगर वो लड्डू खा रहा है तो उसको लड्डू का टेस्ट भी आएगा उसमें. उसको किसी ने थप्पड़ मारा तो उसको पेन भी होएगा, ड्रीम पेन होएगा. मगर उठते ही क्या होता है, विलीन हो गया ना ड्रीम. एंड देन यू से कहाँ हुआ था ये, ओ मैं तो उठी नहीं, मैं तो अपने बिस्तर पे थी, तो इसका मतलब मेरे मन में चल रहा था सब, तो मेरा ये सब कुछ मनोमय था, है कि नहीं? ऐसा ही बोलेंगे था हम कि जैसे बोलते हैं ना कृष्णमय है सब, या सब कुछ ब्रह्ममय है और ब्रह्म दृष्टि. ओ एवरीथिंग वाज माय माइंड ओनली, माय माइंड बिकेम एवरीथिंग. So see, in the real life also we have an example like that. It's not like, and the other example is, I can think of is ocean. When I go near the ocean, I see many waves rising, but they are just temporary. But wave, where does it come from? A wave cannot be separate than the ocean. Everybody agrees? I cannot take the water out and bring it to my house and call it a wave. Right? Impossible. Wave has to be part of. So वो ऐसे उठी और कहाँ चली गई फिर? Gone back. So that's another way of understanding this. So there are worldly examples also that you can see that how we can understand this. So what happens in the Brahma Drishti? ऐसा नहीं कि उसका संसार चला गया है, कि वो एकदम क्या बोलते हैं कि उसको कुछ और दिखाई नहीं देता है. नो, व्यावहारिक ढंग से उसको सब दिखता है, वो सब अपने जैसे व्यवहार करेगा. If something is coming on the way that's going to hit him, he will move. He's not going to stand there and say, oh, सब ब्रह्ममय है होने. Nothing like that. उसकी दृष्टि चेंज होती है. तो दृष्टि कैसी होती है, वो किसी चीज को भी देखता है ना, उसमें उसको ब्रह्म ही दिखाई देता है. हम लोग जब लोगों से मिलते हैं तो कभी उनकी अच्छाइयाँ दिखाई देती है, कभी बुराई दिखाई देती है, ये वो है, उसको एकदम ठोक बजा के मालूम है कि ये ही इज दैट सबस्ट्रेटम. ऊपर से व्यवहार इसका डिफरेंट है बिकॉज ऑफ हिज ओन वासनास एंड ऑल दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग ही नेवर ड्रॉप्स हिज माइंड. So that's what happened. His vision is changed. And the other example, brilliant example, this one of the Swamis gave was that the sun. He said, sun तो एक ही है, मैं उसकी किरणें कितनी है? करोड़ों, पूरे संसार में फैली हुई है. एक छोटी सी किरण मेरे घर में भी आती है, या बड़ी किरण आती है, जो भी है, but वो किरण का अपने आप में कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है. There is no existence of the kiran on its own, and it is part of that sun only. So exactly same way, this Brahman is vyapt, like it is, pervading everything, and I may experience, different rays of it, but it is one. So it is this grand vision. So what does it do for us? Okay, we don't have that experience yet, but the more we think about it like this, it purifies our mind. That's what it does for us, because that is our sadhana, right? To purify our mind. And so this is mainly this verse, and we will read it now. And then I just wanted to give a little idea about the other 11 yagnas that he's going to talk about. So everyday duty we know that we have to do, right? And then Krishna Bhagwan taught us कि भाई कैसे कर्म योग में करना चाहिए and all that. But कभी कभी ना हमारी नेगेटिविटी इतनी अंदर घुसी हुई होती है कि वो निकलती नहीं है. It, all those 6 things, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मद, मात्सर्य डीप ट्रेंच हुआ होता है हमारे दिमाग में, और कितना भी हम कोशिश करें वो निकलता नहीं है. तो ये जो 11 यज्ञ है ना वो बताए गए हैं. एंड दिस वन ऑफ द स्वामी सेड दे आर लाइक द डिटर्जेंट. कि एक बर्तन बहुत गंदा हो गया ना, उस खाली पानी से नहीं साफ होएगा, उसको लेके घसो एक लेके तो अभी यहाँ अमेरिका में तो ऑल ऑफ अस आर एक्सपर्ट इन वॉशिंग डिशेज, so उसको लेके घसो. So this is something other than our daily duties we take upon. We must do our daily duty, and we must do in the Karma Yoga spirit, but take out some time to do the little extra sadhana so that ये जो deep negativities है वो अंदर जो घुस गई है वो निकल आए बाहर. So that will be the role of the other, and there will be many different ones you will see. So this is what in nutshell, this is what we're going to read. Anybody has any question, comment on this?
No.
Can we go forward? Okay. So here, who would like to read?
But conversion is so easy.
Somebody said something? I think Shireen is not muted. I can mute her, that's fine. Now I've learned how to do this.
Shireen, you have to mute yourself.
Here, I think did I do it for her? I don't know why it's not happening. Okay, if nobody's volunteering, I'm gonna recruit Meera ji because she is an excellent reader. If you feel up to it.
Always my pleasure.
Yeah. So whoever wants to read, please raise your hand. I want to read and then read it. I don't want to force anybody, but if nobody is going to volunteer, Meera ji is one of them who's going to read. Okay.
24.
Yeah.
Brahman is the oblation. Brahman is the clarified butter constituting the offerings. By Brahman is the oblation poured into the fire of Brahman. Brahman verily shall be reached by him who always sees Brahman in all actions.
So before we go further, let me just explain one more thing. So उन्होंने ना ये यज्ञ की का एग्जाम्पल लिया, बिकॉज उस जमाने में ना यज्ञ लोग करते थे. तो यज्ञ में क्या होता है कि कौन कौन सी चीज़ होती है सभी को मालूम है. एक तो होते हैं पंडित होते हैं, एंड ट्रेडिशनली 5 पंडित बैठते हैं. दैट्स व्हाट आई हर्ड. 5 पंडित बैठते हैं. देन हम यज्ञ ना घी वगैरह की सामग्री ऐसे पोर करते हैं. सो वो कुंड होता है, उसमें अग्नि जलाई जाती है. फिर एक देवता, जिस देवता को आवाहन करना हो ना, जैसे कि वो भाई हम फलाने देवता के लिए कर रहे हैं, तो फिर उस देवता तक पहुंचाने के लिए वो आहुति उसमें डाली जाती है. एंड इट सीम्स दैट सटल वर्ल्ड से वो पहुंच जाती है उसके पास. ओके, इफ यू डू एवरीथिंग करेक्टली. सो दिस इज द होल आइडिया. सो इस वर्स में ऐसा बोला गया है कि वो हवन आप इमेजिन करो, और ये जो 5 पंडित हैं ना, दे आर लाइक, इसके डिफरेंट explanation दिए गए. But this explanation is also very beautiful that Swamiji has given, and also some other places I have read. अपनी बॉडी को हवन कुंड समझो. ओके, और जो 5 पंडित है वो 5 इंद्रियां हैं. ओके, तो इंद्रियों से we are getting the stuff and we are pouring it out in the world, or within, even within your body you can say, जो एक्शन चल रहा है ना हमारा, उसका लिया गया है ये एग्जाम्पल. तो बॉडी इज लाइक अ हवन कुंड, और इसके अंदर जो अग्नि प्रज्वलित हो रही है ना, जो प्राण शक्ति वगैरह है, एवरीथिंग दैट इट इज मूविंग एंड ऑल दैट यू कैन कॉल अग्नि. एंड ऑल द एक्शन वी आर डूइंग, हम उसमें यही आहुति डाल रहे हैं, एज दो, so that could be one example. And the other thing is कि इसमें ऐसा बताया गया है कि पंडित भी ब्राह्मण है, भगवान ही है, अग्नि भी भगवान ही है, और जो घी डाल रहा है सामग्री भी भगवान ही है, और जो देवता इन्वोक किया जा रहा है वो भी भगवान ही है. And so now how do I understand this? So Swamiji is going to give an example that how ocean and the waves, a wave is jumping on the other wave, right? But है तो सभी ocean ही, है तो सभी पानी ही. That's how we have to see. That even though we are functioning in the world, we are doing different things, but it's all Brahmamaya hai, sab kuch. That's how the drishti is of that person. Okay? Anil ji has a question.
Yeah, is it the same as saying you do not own any action, no ownership?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one angle, and that's a very, very good angle. अगर वो angle हमको याद आ जाए तो बहुत कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
This is the famous stanza which is chanted throughout India as a prayer at the table before the Hindus eat their meals, although today 90% of those who chant this stanza before their meals do not understand or care to follow its meaning. All the same, it contains infinite suggestions and almost summarizes the entire philosophical content of Vedanta. The infinite reality, which is the changeless substratum behind and beneath the changing panorama of the world, is indicated by the Vedic term Brahman. And this is contrasted with the aspect of truth, which functions in and through the body as the Atman. But though the eternal truth has been thus indicated by two different terms, Vedanta roars that the Atman is Brahman.
Okay, so here I already explained this. So if you didn't understand, then raise your hand, because this is a very important thing to remember. You know, because people get a little bit confused. Atma is individualized. No. And as we go progress in Bhagavad Gita, you will see when we reach chapter 13th, he will call it Kshetragnya, Atma ko wo or Brahman ko, and then he will say there's only one. So even though we may call it by two different names, but it is one. So that creates that harmony and oneness it creates, you know.
The metaphor is borrowed from the very well-known divine ritualism of the Vedas, the yagnas. In every yagna, there are four essential factors: the deity invoked to whom the oblations are offered; 2, the fire in which the offerings are poured; 3, the material things that constitute the offerings; and 4, the individual who is performing the yagna.
So he's just describing, you know, जो यज्ञ में जो चीजें होती है वो बता दी. Okay.
Here, the stanza explains the mental attitude and the experience of the perfect sage when he performs the yagna. To him, truth alone exists, and not the delusory plurality which his erstwhile ignorance had conjured up for him in his mind. Therefore, to him, all yagnas arise from Brahman, chapter 3, verse 14 and 15, in which Brahman, the truth, is the performer, offering Brahman, the material to the sacred fire, which is also nothing other than Brahman, invoking but Brahman. When one wave jumps over another and breaks itself to embrace and become one with its comrade, we, who know that all waves are nothing but the ocean, can certainly understand that in this act of union between two waves, nothing has happened except that the ocean rising over the ocean broke itself to become one with the ocean.
See, now I explained this already. So how beautiful it is, you know. And then the other thing I was thinking, because since I go to the beach and sometimes I see these kids, you know, they make this elaborate sand castle उसमें सब कुछ बना देते हैं वो लोग, उसमें घर भी उस मिट्टी से बनाया है, आदमी भी, I mean, you know what I'm saying. And then so, but it's all sand. And then the other example, I was thinking sometimes you see they make these beautiful carvings out of ice carvings होती हैं, right? Weddings वगैरह में करते हैं, और वो सब मेल्ट होके तो पानी हो जाता है. So there are many different ways you can look at it. So that's how this दृष्टि वही है कि भाई सब कुछ ब्रह्म है, तो उसको कुछ बुरा दिखेगा ही नहीं. You know, that's what it is. अगर कोई कुछ गड़ भी करेगा, he will just laugh it off. You know, he will not get too disturbed like we do sometimes. But the more we develop this, more our threshold of tolerance and all that will increase, you know. So that's what is going to happen.
If an individual can thus see the substratum or the essential nature in and through all names and forms, actions and behaviors, to him, irrespective of all conditions and circumstances, all beings and things are but a remembrance of the infinite blissful truth. If actions are performed by a saint, invoking no deity other than Brahman, all his actions dissolve away, because he is invoking but the one truth through all his actions.
See, this is also very important, and especially this line, I kind of highlighted this line that irrespective of all conditions and circumstances and all beings and things. So, you know, there is no excuse for him, oh, that person did that to me or something. Everything he can see Brahman. And I think that one of the saint was saying that, you know, जिनकी ऐसी ब्रह्म दृष्टि होती है ना, उनको कोई भी ऐसे राक्षस भी कोई आ जाए ना, तो वो बोलेगा, ओ भगवान, आप तो बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग ग्रुप में आए हो. See how he sees. Yeah. That's how it will be for him. He's not only going to look at him, you know, we might be scared. He's not going to be even scared because he looks at, and we see all these Puranic stories and all that, you know, it depicts all these things. Huh?
The significance of the stanza as a prayer to be said before food is amply self-evident. To live, we must eat. Food is necessary for existence. Whatever be the type of food, when one is hungry, one will enjoy one's meals. The suggestion is that even at this moment of natural enjoyment, we are not to forget the great truth that it is Brahman eating Brahman, and that during our meals, we are offering to Brahman the food, that is Brahman, invoking nothing but the grace of Brahman.
Wow.
To keep this idea constantly in the mind is to get perfectly detached from the enjoyment and raise ourselves to a greater and endless beatitude, which is the reward of supermanhood.
So this word, no, beatitude, I don't even know how to say it correctly. Beatitude.
Beatitude.
Yeah, beatitude is a word that has come from the Christian people for that highest. जैसे हम लोग जिसको बोलते हैं ना, the highest, the supreme, उच्चतर सबसे, वो लोग beatitude बोलते हैं, जिसमें परमानंद. If somebody has to translate this word in Hindi or Sanskrit, it will be Paramanand. When we say, you know, Paramanand mein pahunch gaye hain. So see how now it's saying that how the meal is also, and the, you know, food ka, I think we had discussed, jo Jatra Agni bolte hain usko. Jatra Agni is the fire in our stomach, because हमारा जो temperature maintain होता है ना, और अपना क्या बोलते हैं कि if you don't have the fire in the stomach, our food will never get digested. So, you know, it's like, that is the Havan Kund. उसमें हम लोग खाने की आहुति डाल रहे हैं, you know. So that's another way of this. So this metaphor can be taken so many different ways, but how clever the saints and sages were. खाना तो सभी खाएंगे ही, बूढ़ा हो, बच्चा हो, कोई भी हो, और खाने के टाइम पे बोलो तो फिर तुम लोग भूलोगे नहीं. जैसे मुसलमान लोग 5 बार नमाज पढ़ते हैं ना, तो उनके लिए वैसे बना दिया. हमारे लिए तो बोला चलो जो नेचुरल इंजॉयमेंट है उसी में डाल दो. वो तो उठ के बैठने की भी जरूरत नहीं आसन पे, खाते खाते भगवान को याद करो. आई मीन उससे ज़्यादा आसान क्या हो सकता है, राइट? और हम लोग जब कोई बहुत अच्छी चीज़ होती है तो खाने के लिए उतावले भी होते हैं. नो डोंट ईट yet, first remember God, then eat. So see how kind of it becomes very clever that you can't miss it. Nobody's going to miss a good meal, So,
Okay.
Umaji, every action when we call that as a yajna, then that to itself, just
Yes.
like the food, you can take any example of whatever you are doing
yes, true.
is can be called that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this, they are just giving you some tips, but you can expand this example. And that's why, ब्रह्म दृष्टि में तो सब वैसे ही आ गया जैसे आप बोल रहे हो. हर एक एक्शन तो फिर वो कोई बुरा काम भी नहीं करेगा. अगर हमको ये ब्रह्म दृष्टि मिल जाए तो automatically we will do the right thing. We will not do negative things. We will not do things from our lower minds, and anger and jealousy and things. We will rise above it for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So the connecting lines are, after representing the very spirit in all yagnas, the Lord is trying to show Arjun how all through life, all our actions can be converted to become a yagna. Right knowledge, bhavna, makes every act a yagna.
See?
Listen.
जो मीना जी बोल रही थी वो connecting वाला आ गया ना, everything. Okay, so anybody has any comment, question? Yeah.
Yeah, I have one comment. Today, what I found most valuable is, Umaji, your explanation of the difference between Brahma and Atma. Because all the time I used to think, vaguely, कि वो तो एक ही चीज है. But when you said that Brahma is expressed through body, when Brahma is expressed through the body, it is Atma. Suddenly it became very clear कि जब तक आप शरीर से हैं और जो काम आप करते हैं तभी तक वो आत्मा है और उसके बाद में otherwise that is the difference, basic difference.
Yeah, so that is
that
in
became
Vedanta.
clear.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And the way you want to say is Brahma. Because आप जब ब्रह्मा बोलते हो तो थोड़ा confusion ऐसे हो सकता है. जो ब्रह्मा विष्णु वाला महेश वाला ब्रह्मा है ना वो that's different. That is Brahman has taken a form to create. तो ब्रह्मा हो गया वो. ये बोलते हैं ब्रह्मा, the way they pronounce it. और ब्रह्मन.
अच्छा.
Just want to, because now as we are getting more deep into Vedanta, we should have these small differences जो होता है ना, so we say it correctly, so there's no confusion.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, because when I read in English, तो मुझे ब्राह्मण समझ में आया.
Right.
So I always used to think कि ये ब्राह्मण की बात हो रही है earlier, before the class, when I used to read a little bit, तो मुझे इतना समझ में ही नहीं आता था कि तभी हम लोग इतना caste system भी करते हैं कि I thought only Brahmins are capable of doing this. So
True.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of words: Brahman, Brahma, Brahman. So all three have a different meaning. So when we say Brahma or Brahman, it is the substratum. It is the Bhagwan. It is that Satchit Anand. When we say Brahma, then when it expresses at the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the creative aspect in us becomes Brahma. And Brahman means the one who revels in this Brahman. That is the real meaning of Brahman. जो 4 caste में जो वर्ण व्यवस्था में जो ब्राह्मण बताया गया ना, वो उसकी खासियत ये है कि वो जानता है इस बात को और उसी में वो रमण करता है. Like he dwells in it. That's why he's a Brahman, not because he's born to a Brahman family. Yeah. Okay. Somebody else had some. Sure. Had something.
I was going to say the same thing, that this Brahman here is not to be confused with Brahma. Big difference, just like you explained. That's what I was going to say before.
Yeah.
Because that is confusion. It creates a lot of confusion with a lot of people.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm glad that we clarified this, because for this class it's very, very important that we know this.
Yeah, the Brahman is to be considered as the ultimate, and Brahmaji is below that.
Right. Brahmaji is like comes under the Trinity. When the creation starts, so then you need, बोलते हैं ना कि position दिया गया, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh का. Yeah. But उनका जो source है वो सब एक ही हो जाता है, And I was thinking like different names of भी देते हैं ना भगवान को. तो Allah or God or whatever you want to call it, Father in heaven, बोलो. There are hundreds of names given. So why so many names? So I was just thinking about it. Now, suppose you take just one individual from here. You take Asha ji. Asha ji was a professor. So her students are going to call her as, ma'am or professor or jo bhi aapko bulate, prof. When you come home, your children are going to call you mommy. And so kya aap 10 different personality thodi ho gaye? I mean, people thodi ho gaye. You are one. Asha ji is one. But everybody is referring them in different, so depending on what role you are playing. When you're sitting in your university teaching, you're a professor. When you come home, you are a wife and the mother, And suppose you join a sports team, you play tennis, so you become a tennis player at that moment. So that's how, when this ultimate reality, it represents itself as a creating force, And that creating force has both the aspect. It is a macrocosm and microcosm. That's also very important to know. Each one of us we have Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh Tattva in us. That's how we create, we can maintain and dissolve. We have all three powers are given to us, at our level. And together of the Brahmand or the universe or the cosmos, that power becomes Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, but it represents through each one of us also. So that's another thing that we should understand about this. Any other question, comment, or anybody wants to add anything to this?
Isn't it true when we are saying about the Trinity, God is representing, and God is the total vasanas. That's what God or Ishvara is.
That becomes Ishvara, true.
True, right? Ishvara is presented that. And Brahman is above that. So when we talk about Ishvara, because we're talking about the creation, we're talking about Ishvara, then we can say it's the Brahma, Vishnu,
correct.
So Shiva.
Yeah.
That's when we say the Trinity is represented that way, the Trinity is represented.
True.
Right.
Yeah. So it is Ishvara is that when after the creation has come into existence or in the process of existence also.
Yes.
Because Ishvara has this before also it happens. And wo pura Vedant mein na, it's a very technical thing, and maybe sometime after we finish Bhagavad Gita, there's so much, firstly there is so much material, so much different angles to look at this. We will never get exhausted. So like Joe was saying na कि वो 40 साल से कर रहा था, हम जितने भी साल जिंदा रहे ना, we can continue this class because we can dwell in it in so many different ways.
I sent one animation of the whole thing, the Saat Lokas and Brahmas.
I think I have seen that from somebody else had also sent me.
How much is there?
Yes. So we can definitely revel in this, but whatever you are saying, Meenaji, is right. Yeah. Any other? Okay, shall we go to the next one? Okay, so now the other yagnas start. And the second one is also, verse 25 is also high-fi, but there are different swamis who slightly interpret it in different way. And all of them are correct, and all of them are very valuable. So one approach Swamiji has taken, and one approach another one, and I thought that was also a very beautiful approach, and I will tell you about that. So let me chant this. Devameva pare yagnam yogina paryupasate brahmagnava pare yagyam yagne nevopajuvhati. Devam. I want to tell you guys something. Because of you guys, I'm getting better at chanting. Because I'm like, I better practice this a little bit because I'm not a chanter otherwise, But I said my class has made me, better. I can see myself getting better. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Devam. Pertaining to Deva. Eva is only. Apare is some. Yajnam, sacrifice. Yoginaha, yogis. Paryupasate, perform. Brahm agno, in the fire of Brahman. Apare, others. Yagnam is sacrifice. Yagnena is by sacrifice. Eva is verily. Upajuvhati, offer as sacrifice. So this is a little bit subtle, so you'll have to put your thinking hat on over here a little bit. So now he's saying that how some people approach this. Once you know the highest goal, okay, that we have to have the Brahmamaya Drishti, how do I get there now? Right? I have this body, I have all this mind, and so this is like fine-tuning our mind. That's what all these things do. So they are very, very valuable for us, and there are different methods you can fine-tune your mind to reach that higher goal. So one group of people, this I told you that this approach is slightly different way, both are very valuable. So this Swami said one group of people, they invoke a devata. So ये सभी को मालूम है पूजा. The word puja is so common in India, right? Everybody knows what puja is, but we don't know what the puja ka essence is. Because honestly speaking, when I came to Chinmaya Mission, and वहाँ पर ना वो बच्चों को सिखाते हैं कि पूजा का actual meaning क्या होता है, कैसे करनी चाहिए वगैरह वगैरह. And I tell you, it was so nice to learn that, because when I was in India and my mother used to get some puja done, लगता था पंडित जी कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं. क्या बोल रहे हैं मालूम ही नहीं, और बच्चे सब उछल रहे हैं. There was no like, किसी का मन एकदम पूरा नहीं था. There may maybe one or two people who were शांति से बैठे थे. But once we understand what it is, it can change our attitude. So if somebody is doing puja, we will understand, and if you do it correctly, how it can take you to the higher level. That's what the main thing is, if you do puja correctly. So what do people do in puja? They have, जैसे बोलते गणेश पूजा करनी है, or दिवाली पूजा करनी है, जो भी करनी है, तो you have a भगवान to invoke, right? So इस सेंट जो समझा रहा था पूजा की बात, उसने बोला सबसे पहले तो ना पूजा में बहुत अच्छा इमेजिनेशन चाहिए. इमेजिनेशन कैसा होना चाहिए, जैसे बच्चों का होता है. All of you, lot of you are, not all of you, lot of you are grandmas. Well, now you have little kids around you. I'm sure they have come to you, especially if you have girls who are like granddaughters. Oh, I'm going to make tea for you, grandma. And then they will bring in a little cup, and then they, and then you have to drink it, and you have to tell them how great it is, and you have to pretend as though it's real, honestly. That they'll be so hurt, because in their mind, they're giving you a real tea. And they also know. The cute thing is they know, but they just trying to copy you, what you are doing in the kitchen and all that, right? That's the aspect you have to bring in the puja, he said. You imagine that highest reality has come in this form for me, okay? Now, once it has come in this form, how do I behave with it? He's saying कि कोई बहुत स्पेशल गेस्ट तुम्हारे घर में आएगा, तो क्या करते हो? सबसे बेस्ट वाले कमरे में, सबसे बेस्ट वाले सोफे पे आप उनको बिठाओगे. और वो पुराने ज़माने में जब आते थे तो वो यात्रा बहुत कठिन होती थी ना, तो वो लोग मतलब धूल मिट्टी में सने हुए आ रहे हैं. हम लोग, आई डोंट नो, यू भी अभी तो एकदम फर्स्ट क्लास हो गया है ट्रैवल करना इंडिया में भी. दे आर डूइंग इट. इवन ट्रेन्स हैव बिकम सो अमेजिंग, So, but you remember those days when you were very, very young, we went in the train, when we came back, sabse pehle nahao, dho, and all that. So it's saying that, okay, Bhagwan aaya, but remember, I'm imagining him now as a deity, fully knowing that this is that great Brahman, but it has come into this. How do I behave with it? I give it the best seat. Then I wash its feet, and then I do, जैसे स्नान करवाते हैं उनको, तो जैसे वो पूजा में बोलते हैं ना स्नान करवाओ वगैरह वगैरह, वो सब वही है. It is like putting my mind into it with all my five senses. स्नान करवाया, फिर मैंने उनको what are the offer the seed, offer akshat and flower they call it. तो कभी देखना वो लोग जो पंडित लोग पूजा करते हैं ना, they are saying fast, but they are saying the same thing. You give it flour, you give it rice, you wash the feet, give water to drink, and you apply chandan and kumkum, as a welcoming, and then you give nevedya is like, some food and all that, and then you even entertain Bhagwan. I didn't know this part. जो हम लोग भजन गाते हैं, जो ये सब करते हैं, इसे आजकल जैसे खाना खाने के टाइम पे लोग टीवी देखते हैं ना, इट्स एंटरटेनमेंट. तो ये भगवान को एंटरटेन कर रहे हैं. इसको बोलते हैं राजोपचार. You may have heard of this word, Rajopachar. means I'm entertaining Bhagwan with bhajan, song, dance also. All our Indian classical dances are, sometimes, in the program they will have dances, offering to God only, all that. And then I do end mein na, sab kuch karke, and then I do pratikshana, namaskar, and then I ask my wish to him, or sankalp jo bhi karna hoga, and then I say, okay, ab aap ja sakte ho, That's the meaning of it, of this whole puja. So he's saying it's no less than a yagna. So we should never look down upon it, because जैसे यज्ञ में आहुति डाल रहे हैं ना, तो यहाँ पर वो instead of invoking it in a fire, our devata, you are invoking in a murti. That's all the difference is. But it's exactly the same thing if you do it with the right heart, And then what does it do to our mind? He gave such a beautiful example. It touched my heart. And this is the example he gave. He's saying, suppose you have a backyard and you have many different plants growing over there. After a while, you don't even know कि कौन सा plant grow रहा है, क्या हो रहा है. But you start watering one plant every day. You see the connection you will make with it. जरा सा भी वो weak होएगा, कुछ होएगा, तुमको पता चल जाएगा. And then when you are away also, वो पानी दिया कि नहीं मैंने, और फिर when you come, 2 दिन आप भूल गए तो वो पानी थोड़ा सूख रहा है, तो you फटाफट give water. You create a rapport with the plant, because you are engaging in it on a daily basis. So now you create a rapport. He's saying you're creating a rapport with Bhagwan. Okay, Bhagwan is there everywhere, and they are saying, how do I